Some news just coming in. Karnataka Chief Minister Bommai has spoken out on the hijab controversy and reiterating that uniform must be followed. Defending his government stand, Bommai has cited the constitution and said rules must be followed.
ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವು ಕೂಡ ಹಲವಾರು ವಿಚಾರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿದೆ. ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರೊವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ SDM ಅವರು ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಂಡಳಿಗೆ ಏನು ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಇದೆ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸುತ್ತೋಲೆಯನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಹೊರಡಿಸಿದೆ.
Nolan Pinto is getting asked more details on that story, that controversy essentially. Nolan continues to rage with that statement again coming in. The back and forth between the government and the opposition on this very sensitive topic also continues. Nolan. Nolan.
Education Act 1983. There are rules.
Yes, Nolan, you can continue.
Well, the Chief Minister is currently in Delhi for 2 days, has made it very clear that the Karnataka Education Act spells out all the rules, and that is that's the notification that they issued on. Very clearly states that integrity, uniformity, and nothing that goes against public law and order will have. The Chief Minister says that to the Karnataka Education Act 1983, that's
Poor line with Nolan Pinto. We'll just go back to him in a bit from now. But remember that statement coming in from the Chief Minister talking about how uniform, in fact, must be followed in schools. He said, remember, this is the position that has been taken by the Karnataka government, which has banned clothes. They say that creates disharmony, disturbs public order, and there should be harmony in education institutions, and anything that will disturb that, even if it's clothes, it should be banned, is what the Karnataka government has said. Nolan continues to be with us. Nolan, of course, you were taking us through the statement of the Chief Minister there, citing rules and also the Constitution in defending what the government has done.
Well, in fact, what the Chief Minister is very clearly stating that we have the rules over here, the Karnataka Education Act, which is promulgated in 1983. Those rules very clearly state that there is a particular set uniform that students in government colleges have to follow, because the development council, the college development council will come out with those rules. That is one. And in private colleges, it's the private administration, they will come out with what they have to, the uniform. Now, what he says is this: these rules have been brought about over here so that when students enter a class, everybody is equal. In this particular case, the girls can wear a hijab. The government says that right up to the school. Basically, even in the campus, they are allowed to wear a hijab. But when they enter the classroom, they are not supposed to. Now, this is the issue. These girls who have been protesting over there, and the protests have actually spread across all the districts, for the past few years, they have been following the uniform put forth by the government. Now, the BJP clearly states that the entire issue is being politicized. They are being used as pawns over here, when rather they should be actually focusing on studies with their exams due in the next few months. Because of this, you have students wearing saffron shawls stating that if you allow these girls to wear their hijab and come inside the classes, then allow us also to wear our religious symbols, basically a saffron shawl. So we have to wait for tomorrow, because now we see protests taking place both for and against across Karnataka at various colleges, instead of the students actually sitting down and studying for their exams, which again due in the next few months. So we have to wait for what will happen tomorrow, what the decision that the Karnataka High Court will take.
Nolan, thanks for getting us up to speed with that. Nolan Pinto with that report from Bengaluru. Do continue to be with us though, Nolan. We'll just come back to you because the controversy isn't dying down anytime soon, and there is no end to the hijab row in Karnataka colleges, where students of several junior colleges have defied government order mandating uniforms. Many students arrived on the campus wearing saffron stoles. They also shouted Jai Shri Ram slogans. Across Karnataka, students wore saffron shawls and protesting, demanding that they too be allowed inside their educational institutes if hijabs are allowed. On the other hand, counter-protests by activists also took place in Karnataka, where they wore hijabs and demanded students wearing hijab be allowed to enter educational institutions. The district where this entire controversy began, in Udupi's Kundapura, a handful of students turned up again in hijab. The administration allowed the young women on campus, but controversially seated them in separate classrooms without any lessons. College authorities in Karnataka's Kundapura are passing government notification on the compound wall, regarding uniform being compulsory.
Till the High Court's order comes, we want to go inside, we want education. Till that we will come. We are requesting them to send us inside. We are requesting everybody to send us inside. Let them do us classes. The news has claimed, the DC told that they should give us the extra room to us, only for these students. So we are requesting them. We want education. By wearing the hijab, we want education.
ಇವತ್ತು ಉದ್ದೇಶಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಹಿಜಾಬ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಿರತ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾಳೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮಸೂದೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಕೊಡುತ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾಳೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಬೇಡಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಕಲಿಲಿದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಕಲೀರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ರಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಕೆಲಸ ಇದೆ? ನಿಮಗೆ ಉರ್ದು ಬೇಕು, ನಮಗೆ ಹಿಜಾಬ್ ಬೇಕು, ನಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯ ಇಸ್ಲಾಂ ಧರ್ಮದ ಇದು ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ ಅವಾಗೆ.
ಹಂಗೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸು ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ರೂಲ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದಾದರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ನ ಅವ್ರು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
ಸರ್, ಈಗ ಶುಲ್ಕದ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಲಾಖೆ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಇದಾಗ್ತದೆ.
हिजाब हमारा हक है, क्योंकि आप आज़ाद हिंदुस्तान में हम हैं तो हमारा हक है, हम बुर्का पहन सकते हैं, जो चाहे हम कर सकते हैं. अगर आपको उसके लिए भी अगर यूनिफॉर्म रखना है, कलर का रखना है, तो वो रखिए आप, हम उसके लिए राजी हैं. अगर जो हिजाब का कलर है यूनिफॉर्म से मिलता जुलता होना चाहिए तो वो उसके लिए राजी है हम, लेकिन हिजाब तो छोड़ने के लिए तैयार नहीं है.
So everybody here seems to be throwing the rule book at each other, but what are the rules really? Now the campus hijab showdown has the college rule book, says that uniformity in dress code is mandatory. Headscarf in uniform color permitted. All students briefed about dress code. Students rule book allows headscarf denied entry, they say, in spite of uniform color. Hijab, no hijab objection during admission. So why raise this issue now is the question that many of these students are asking. Nolan Pinto continues to be with us. Nolan, the manner in which this is playing out outside of politics also within educational institution just goes on to show that this isn't a controversy that is going to die down anytime soon. In fact, we see it's snowballing. In terms of the law and order situation, what is the state government now planning to do, given that we have this playing out in several institutions, several educational institutions?
Well, in fact, what the government has very clearly stated is that let's wait for the High Court to actually take this up. And the government also states that they have come out with the rules. Basically, that on Saturday they stated that the Karnataka Education Act very clearly says what you have to follow and what you should not follow. And most of all these education institutions, especially the government educational institutions, have very clearly, when the student applies to actually become a student of that particular institution, signs on the dotted line which says that if you do not follow the rules and regulations of this particular institution, you are liable to be given a TC and you can go. So basically, most of these students, in fact, I beg your pardon, all these students who are protesting, stating that they want to wear a hijab now, have actually signed on the dotted line, stating that they will follow the rules and regulations. You're talking about the uniform also. And if not, a TC will be given. So senior BJP leaders have come out stating that if the students are not happy with certain rules that the college wants them to follow, then they can always take a TC and go to any college. In fact, this is what the education minister said. in the military or in the armed forces, you follow a proper uniform. And the same thing should be followed in schools as well. But if the students do not want to follow them, there are always other options. Go to schools that are run by minority institutions as such, which allow you to actually wear your religious attire. So this is what the government says. So it's getting completely political over here. You have political parties, you have the AIMIM in Belagavi protesting, you have the Congress here coming in support of the students. But the government says rules are rules. Everybody is equal in a school or college. You have to follow the uniform. If you don't want to follow the uniform, you can always take a TC and go to a college that allows you to, well, do whatever you want.
All right, Nolan, thanks for getting us up to speed with that. We'll, of course, keep coming back to you for more on that controversial story developing from the state of Karnataka.